There are 3 amazing automations out there that let me save hours or even days of my time. And in this video I will be sharing with you step by step what they are, how to build them, and most importantly I will explain you why you should be creating AI automations in 2025. So let's get into it. First of all, I need to mention that we'll be using Zapier to create these automations. I think it's an awesome tool. Actually, it's the best tool out there on the internet to create automations, save time, and generally connect applications together. So here I will put the link in the description of this video, and now go over, take this link and open Zapier. After you do this, you should go over to the right top corner and click on sign up. Then when you're here, you should sign up by Google or just provide email and some basic data. After you do this, you should click on get started for free. So for now you've got your account, and the first very important automation that we'll create will be for data storage system, and it will allow you to save a lot of time. So here, first of all, if you're not familiar with the Zapier and you don't know what these blocks are, let me explain you that. Generally, Zapier is an application that connects over different softwares and applications and allow them to work together. This is very important because, for example, we can provide Google Forms. We can go over with the Facebook, Notion, Gmail, and in general connect these all steps and do some amazing stuff. That's why this is very powerful, because we can automate a lot of tedious tasks. And in this video you will learn everything, how to save a lot of time, and in general you will know 3 amazing automations. Nevertheless, for now let me explain you how this first automation should work. So first things first, we've got the Google Forms, which is a trigger. So here we say, whenever a new form appears, so someone submits the form, please trigger this automation, and afterwards do this step, and this step. So now we've got the first step, which is Google Forms. So again, whenever a new form is submitted, we would like to trigger this automation. Then we use Notion. So here we would like to save the data somewhere. For this purpose, we are using this application, which is amazing. So we provide all of the data from the Google Forms to Notion. And that's why we connected kind of 2 applications together. But this is not everything, because later on we send automatical email to our actually person that submitted the form. So we say thank you for your submission, thank you for submitting the form. And at the end we send Slack channel message to our team, employee or whether friend about that our form actually is fulfilled and we've got new submission. So overall, this automation will let you to save a lot of time, hours or even days. And kind of this is very cool that when you set up your automation or even automations, everything is automated. So you don't need to do anything else. Everything is automatical, and then you just save a lot of time. So now let me go over and show you how it works and how to create it. When we are inside of our Zapier page, we need to go over to the left top corner and click on Create and now Zaps. Then we are redirected to our page where we'll be creating our automations. So we've got 2 different types of the blocks. As I said previously, we've got a trigger and here also the action. So there we use our trigger, which is only one for the automation. So here we say, when something happens, so for example this particular situation, maybe it's new email, new Google Forms, new kind of maybe item inside of the Notion, like do actions afterwards. So yeah, it is very simple as that. So we can go over now and set our trigger, which will be Google Forms, so you know that for now. We simply go over to our Google Forms, and when we click on that, we see this kind of interface that pops up at the right side of the page. So here we'll be setting up our actually trigger and actions. So we've got a trigger event. So here we would like to start this automation whenever a new form response is here. Then we click continue, we choose our form, which is for this case data storage automation. We click continue, we test our trigger. So here we are kind of testing if it works. And now we've got our records. So we are using records to afterwards base on its data and then set up the entire automation. So this is kind of sample data to actually, yes, set up everything. And generally my form looks like this. So I've got the first name, last name, email address, product type, and product feedback. Because this automation will be all about managing our feedback for some product. And first of all, what we need to do? We need to go over and fulfill our form by ourselves. And why to do this? Because it's the best approach to actually have the most accurate content afterwards we can base on in our automation. So create your form, then fulfill that and submit. When you do this, you should have your response. So here you've got the name, last name, product type, and email. You should pick that. So continue with selected record. And now this window pops up. So we can choose our action. So what we would like to do after our automation starts. For this purpose, I would like to save the data inside of the Notion. So automatically save the data. For this purpose, in the action event, I can choose create database item, pick an account, click on continue, choose our database. So again, you should now create the database inside of the Notion. For this purpose, I've got data storage system. And now let me show you quickly the database. So it's nothing special. We have here first name, last name, email address, actually our product type, and here our product feedback. So now it's the moment to fulfill our Notion database. And we are kind of connecting everything together. So data from Google Forms, and we send that kind of to the Notion. So we can click on this plus, and we choose our variables, because it will change whenever actually we've got new submission and data. For this case, I've got a Jack, last name, which is this one, Jack Meadow, email address. So we are kind of connecting our two applications right now. Product feedback, here select option. And this is very important. We would like to pick custom value. So here we wanna pick our type. And product type, yeah, we've got it. And for now, we can click continue and we can test the step. So we are doing that to actually see and evaluate if our step works. And similarly, we did that for the trigger. So we test our step. So now we can see it works. We can go over ahead and moving on, we can set up our step for sending automatical email to the person that submitted the form. So we can send an email. We can pick our account. So yeah, you need to pick your account and connect that kind of, but afterwards when you do this, like later, you can go over and just select that. I can pick an email too. So I would like to take the data from the Google Forms, email address from here, my email, the subject. So we can go over and provide, thank you for your submission. That's cool. The body, and here I can provide some kind of message. So here I have, hi, thank you for submitting your form. We appreciate your feedback. Best regards, DFA Course Academy. There I can go over and also provide from name. So customer service. And also here my variable. So for this purpose, I've got let's go over with the name. So we are kind of like defining like, hey, every time I provide this message, but change the name of the customer. That depends, of course, from the person that submitted the form. We can click continue, that's the step. And this is very important. So yeah, our email is sent. And the last step, which is very important for now, is Slack channel message. We can go over pick action event. So send channel message. We can click continue. We can pick our channel and here provide the message. So it's very simple. We have new form submission received. And here we've got some kind of data to provide. Name, email, product type, product feedback. Here I would like to go over and again provide variables. So right there, let's go over with the first name and also last name, then an email, product type, here, product feedback. That's very, very cool. I can go over, click continue. I can test my step. And now generally our automation is fully set up. It took for us only several minutes, however it will let us to save hours or even days of our time at the long run. So this is amazing. Now we can go over and we can publish that, and from now it will work. To test out my automation, I can go over and fulfill my form. So let's do it fast. Daniel 3, an email. So let's go over, provide it. Here product type, so Zapier Ultimate Guide. And now I can type. It's the best Zapier guide I have ever had. And now it's the time actually to send this kind of form, and let's see if our automation works. Afterwards, we go over to our Notion. We can see we've got our data fulfilled. So Daniel 3, email, product, and feedback. So it's the best Zapier guide I have ever had. When I check my inbox, I have, "Hi Daniel, thank you for submitting your form. We appreciate your feedback." And inside of the Slack, I have all of the data that I wanted. So name, email, product type, and product feedback. This is absolutely amazing. So that's how successfully we created our first ever automation that again allows us to save a lot of our time. And quick announcement, if you would like to learn more about Zapier, how to create very sophisticated automations, actually everything about this tool, you can go over and check my course about Zapier that will teach you everything about this application. So here I will leave the link in the description of this video, so feel free to check it out. The next automation that we'll create will be AI email responder. And it will be very simple, however very useful. Because what it will do, whenever we receive our email inside of the Gmail, we would like to use AI to create for us a response, and afterwards we would like to send this response to the customer, and this is all. Nevertheless, it's very useful for the customer service, or whether if we have kind of the email where we are responding to some people. And we don't need to do this manually, so don't actually respond by ourselves. And again, it will let us to save a lot of time. So simply we can go over and set up this entire automation. Let's go over with the trigger, which will be Gmail. We can go over here, pick trigger event, which is new email, an account. So it's very simple. Now in the label or mailbox, we would like to stick with the inbox. This is very important. So let's pick our inbox, continue, test the trigger. And now there's a situation where we should send to ourselves our email because later on we've got the data to work on it. And I have my email D, so hello, I really enjoyed your course, it made using Notion simple, best regards. I can pick that. And later I can go over and pick AA by Zapier because we would like to use it to create for us an email. So here in the prompt I can type, respond to this email. There I can provide some sample data. So for example from name, so my AI actually chatbot will know actually the name of the person. Body plane. And below I've got kind of this chunk of the text, which is sign up as a DFA Course Academy without any other name that provides subject in response. So here also below I can go over and provide the name of my output. So it will be reply. I can click continue, test step, and see how our email will look like. So yeah, that's perfect. Just look at that. We've got actually our customized email of the customer, then some really nice structured message, and actually our signature. This is very cool. We can go over here and make it us side kind of interface. And at the end, after we created our response with AI, we can go over and we can send it via Gmail. So that's as simple as that. Nevertheless, this automation will let you to save a lot of time, really. Let's go over here, provide email. So here from email, from us, from name, so Christian Wojtarowicz, subject, and at the end I can provide a body, which is from AI, Here, output. This is cool. Let's click continue. We can skip test for now. And to test it out, we can click publish. To test it out, I can send the following message. Hello, I enjoyed the Midjourney course, but I had problems with creating some automations in the Zapier course. Best regards. So let's send it. So after a few minutes, I've got the following response. Thank you for your feedback. I'm glad to hear you enjoyed the Midjourney course. I'm sorry to hear you had some difficulties with the automations in the Zapier course. Best regards, DFA Course Academy. Hi Christian. So again, it works perfectly. And the third automation for today's video will be simple social media automation that contains 4 different steps. So here what we would like to do, firstly we would like to set the trigger, which is new database item, because we would like to add our content for social media posts inside of the Notion. Afterwards we would like to format the text, so we would like to use Formatter by Zapier to actually make sure our text to description is maximum 3,000 characters. Then what we do, we go over and we create the page post on the Facebook, and at the end we share our update on LinkedIn. So let's get into it. First of all, let's start with the Notion. So we can pick our Notion. Here, choose the trigger event, which is new database item. So for this case, I will have social media automation. I can click continue, test the trigger. And generally this database looks like this. So we've got a title, description, image, so the thumbnail of the post, URL and date. So we can choose our database item A, continue with selected record, and now go over with the formatter. Because with the formatter we would like to check and make sure if our text contains up to 3,000 characters, because it's the maximum length for the LinkedIn post. So that's why we are using truncate option. We are picking that. So this is an option that lets us to actually check if there is specific amount of the characters. Let's go over with the description, maximum length, 3,000. We can click continue. We can test the step. In that particular case, nothing happens because this text is not above 3,000 characters. Then we go over and we would like to send our post to our Facebook page. So here, action event, and create page post. We click on continue. We choose our page. Then we provide our message. So here, firstly, what we would like to do. We want to go over with the title. Then our description. So where do we have our, yeah, we've got it. And at the end, we want to go over with the URL. So this is our form of the message. And now we need to pick our photo. So here, let's go over with an image. We can click continue. We can skip test for now. And simply, last but not least, we've got LinkedIn. So LinkedIn, we share our update. Here continue. And there we choose the following options. So firstly, we go over with an option from the truncate by Zapier. We go over with the title. So here the title is that. And lastly, we would like to provide our URL. So we can go over here. Let me search for that URL. Great. We can click continue. We can skip test. And by this way, again, we set up our successful automation inside of the Zapier. Let's publish that. And to test it out, I simply provided the following data. So the title, final test, description, an image, URL, and date. So now let's wait a while and see if that works. So generally, our post on the Facebook is published. And also we can see here is our test. So this is a test for my automation. So everything is at the point. So that we have it. By this way, we created 3 amazing automations that let us to save a lot of time. So I hope you enjoyed that. Please remember to leave me the like for the YouTube algorithm. Click the subscribe button. It's very, very important for me. And for now, thank you for watching. I will see you next time.